time joining in. We have a pretty exciting wave here. I think when Dan and Ross and I were talking, we think this is the best wave that we've had for a long time, and excited to share it with you. So let me share my screen here. So a couple things first. At the beginning of wave one of each new year, I do like to give just kind of a status update on how Launchpad is doing. So this is just quick 3 slides here. But you can see in 2024, we had 22 Launchpad manufacturers. Distributor rebates were over 450,000. We're flirting with the $500,000 in rebates. That's outstanding. That 457,000, that's just distributor rebates. And there are 2 or 3 tier 1 manufacturers that actually paid out less rebates than that. So collecting all these nickels and dimes is what I like to call them with these new manufacturers and getting them up and running really adds up. So basically via Launchpad, we were able to add another tier 1 manufacturer, which is tough to come by because we're partnered with most of the large manufacturers out there already. So really proud of that. I'm sorry, if you don't mind muting.
Dave, sorry, I muted everybody. I think that muted you at the same time.
Yeah, when you're sharing, you got to stop sharing and then go do it. So
sorry.
All right, so I am still sharing. So we're back to the results. We purchased over $8 million in rebates, which wouldn't rank as a top tier 1 in purchases, but it ranks as a top tier 1 because of the program is 100% base, and it is an 8% program, which is pretty aggressive. And we had 32,000 stores get compliant on Launchpad programs and earned payouts for the retailers as well. So with that, this last page here, at any point, anybody can join on with any current Launchpad manufacturers. So what I did is I put in the all of the current manufacturers we have, how many distributors are participating, what their annual purchases were, and then the contact at that manufacturer, which you can obviously reach out to your WAM contact if you want to get connected with any of them. If they have NA in the contact, that means that they're no longer part of Launchpad. When we designed this, we said some would come in and come out. As we know, that Streamline is now a full WAM partner, and 1440 is another one we have identified. They have new leadership there, but we do plan to try to get them in for full WAM for 2026 because they have bought Robert Irvine's Fit Crunch, and so now they're closer to $4 or $5 million. So we haven't given up on them, but they did put a pause on the Launchpad program because of the purchase and the new leadership that they have coming through. Next information I want to cover is just the timeline for this wave, right? So we're having our calls this week. We're going to collect from you the manufacturers you're interested in next week. So your account manager, your WAM account manager will be reaching out to you to find out which ones you're interested in, the correct people to reach out to at your organization. And really what we're working to is the first promotion starts on all of these wave 1 items May 1st. So we figured between, you express your interest, you got a good 6 weeks to work with that manufacturer, get the product in to support the promotions that are going to break on May 1st. And speaking of that, for the first time, I'm going to cover, if you wanted to send this back to your account manager, usually they get it for you and they fill out this tracker themselves. So I'm going to put this in the WAM brief as well. But basically how the tracker works, if you're interested, you put the person's email address, who the right person to reach out to is. And if you're not interested, you put an X in the cell. And these that are highlighted green, they're one of 2 things. Either the manufacturer said they've been in conversations with you recently, or in the fact of like 7 days, we have all but 3 distributors participating with 7 days already. So if it's lit in green, it means you're already selling the item or you've been in contact recently with that manufacturer according to them. So this is what we will collect your responses on moving forward. And then I just wanted to highlight one more thing. So when we first started Launchpad, we were a little apprehensive to have a firm contract because the concept wasn't proven. You know, we didn't have any numbers to cite, and we didn't want to scare away any manufacturers. But because of the success that we had, we now have an official contract that we are having these manufacturers sign. And it's still agreeing to the same items that we had before, but it's just a little bit more official. You can see we call out the distributor rebates. We also advise them to have local funds to use with you locally for things like trade shows or additional DP drives or anything you guys want to do there. So we are getting that from them from the beginning that the WAM program is a nice base. They should have some incremental funds to spend locally. And then the other thing pertaining to you is we did put it in writing that manufacturers are required to guarantee their product for the first entire year following its launch. So when you are reviewing these, you can have the comfort knowing that your product is guaranteed, even if they don't normally guarantee their product. As being part of Launchpad, they have to guarantee their product for the first year. So that's kind of your Launchpad program update. Oops, didn't want to hit that one. And let's get in. I'm going to go with my manufacturer. So we do have 3 nicotine companies on here. So hopefully, if you invited your tobacco buyer, I'm going to start with those 3 so they can go ahead and drop off after that. And then we'll get to Dan's and Ross's as well. So my first opportunity is Sesh. And as I had mentioned, we have 3 nicotine, pouch type items in this wave, but I think all 3 of them serve a different purpose. Sesh is going to be a very high quality product. It's going to be a premium product. As you can see, these gentlemen down here, 2 of them were involved in the launch of Zyn and the product design of Zyn. So they are consulting with Sesh now. And so you can, the folks that pioneered the industry are involved with Sesh now. And you can see this product is out there, right? Launching in 2025. They're going to be in Sheetz, Circle K, Quick Trip, along with some others. So there are going to be some national chains out there that are carrying this product. They are doing a lot of awareness advertising and things of that sort as well. But you can see that this product is not brand new, but it is gaining a foothold out there. And apparently, according to Sesh, they've talked to 5 of our distributors already, and they said the interest was fairly strong. So hopefully now there's a Launchpad program behind it. We can secure them moving forward. All 3 of these companies have their PMTA submitted on time. Sesh put a slide in here just showing they submitted their pre-acceptance. They received their letter that it's under review. The good news is within the last month, I think that Zyn was approved with flavors. So along with the new administration, I think everybody's feeling very confident that there is not going to be a lot of regulation coming down affecting these items. But again, they are guaranteed per my comments earlier. And this, I think everybody knows this is really, and I don't think it's a trend. I do think this is going to be a lasting market, but this is, the category is really on fire. It's a highly profitable category. And, with the supply issues that Zyn has had and that I have heard that they are going to continue through the end of the year, there is a lot of opportunity to fill in for those shortages and also have different flavors and different products that, might be more attractive to certain consumers. So you can see They have a 4, 6, and 8 milligrams, right? So they have three different milligram sizes. You can see their flavors. This clear is unflavored. So if there is any flavor bans locally or regionally, this item can be sold because it is flavor free. But you can see they have some, a fruit flavor, and then they have the mints and the coffee. And if you haven't tried their product, it is you can tell it's a high quality pouch. It is a big pouch. It's not like an on that's kind of a smaller pouch. It is uh, a substantial pouch, but not overly crazy. The good thing, and they told me this on the call, and during my trials I did. This flavor lasts a long time. I think they advertise 20 to 30 minutes, but you can have this thing in for an hour and you're still getting some flavor out of it. So really, again, a high quality product. It is packed 20, where Zins are only packed 15 in a tin. I guess I don't know if that's what they still call them, but that's my old Dippin' days. And then you can see they have a lot of support. All three of these that I'm going to pitch to you all have a lot of support. They realize the investment needed to get a foothold in the channel. So they have displays, they have in-store advertising, and as I mentioned, they're eager to work with you to set up local marketing as well as the Launchpad program. And all three also assured, because this was a big conversation. I had another one reach out to me, and they weren't they weren't confident in their supply because this stuff is so on fire. A lot of folks don't have the capacities. Sesh and the other two have all assured me they have plenty of production facilities. In fact, in the next couple of weeks here, they are opening a brand new facility in Ohio. So their other facility was in Sweden, but the one in Ohio is scheduled to be in April 1st. So they will have plenty of supply, so you won't have to worry about, introducing a product, getting foothold, and then having supply issues. And this was a nice case study, I thought. So this was a large national chain that they did a trial on. And as you can see, the cannibalization in the category was very, very small. In fact, it actually added to the category. So this chain had only On and Velo outside of Zyn before the test. And then, as you can see, they brought in, and you can see the category continued to rise. There was a little bit of cannibalization around Velo, but the On, continued their growth, and you can see the category growth continued to rise week over week during this test. So this is something that will help the category in general, as well as adding another offering for your retailers and ultimately your retailers' consumers. So the minimum, so all three companies, none of them recognize any purchases through Drip Drop or any of those other kind of specialty redistributors in the tobacco category. They all have to be bought direct, but Sesh's minimum is only one case. That's 8 sleeves or 90 cans. So that is a very, very, very small minimum to order direct and get up running on them. It's a one case minimum. So I know this call's a little tough with so many people on. Any questions? Oh, I do have everything is posted in your portal files, but I do have their price list here. And if you wanted to reference it, it is in your portal files through admin, through Launchpad 2025 Wave 1. You'll see a folder for Sesh, and it has all these materials in it. All right. So the next one is Knick Knack Naturals. This one's truly unique because this is not a pouch. It's a lozenge. I won't call out who, but we had somebody in our office who, when trying it, started eating them like they were Tic Tacs and biting them. That's not what they're meant for. They're meant to be a lozenge, and it stays in your mouth, and there's no pouch to throw away at the end. So really something truly different and some true innovation into the category is Knick Knack. Fun fact for those on the call that have been around Wham for a while, Debbie Robbins from Century is now involved with this company, and she actually, if there's anybody that understands WAM, it's Debbie, and she actually gave us a exclusive on this item, and also an intro deal with a very, very hot price, which I'll cover here in a second. So excited about Knick-Knack. As you can see, it's a lozenge. It's not a pouch. If you didn't, I will say, I will give the prerequisite. If you did not get samples, please let me know. I did hear that a couple distributors' samples were delayed on Knick-Knack. So if you haven't gotten it, you should get it next week. But the samples should be out for all of these items to all distributors. If you didn't get any, please reach out to Dan Ross or myself, and we'll make sure we get your samples out so you can see, touch, and taste the product. And as you can see, the benefits of nicotine, they're calling it guilt-free nicotine. There are some studies that have the benefits of nicotine out there. It's no artificial flavors, sweeteners, or colors. Unrestricted enjoyment. They have the little airplane logo there, where you really can't tell if you have one in. It's very discreet. And when the lozenge is gone, it's gone. There's no leftover pouch to get rid of. And this is, just, some general instructions. Again, I'm not going to go through this line by line, but do not eat it and do not start with the high milligrams is basically their advice. And you put it in and you just let it be. As you can see, they have some really interesting flavors. Blood orange is actually one of my favorites, believe it or not. Grapefruit, tangerine, lemon. So they're getting a little bit deeper on their flavor offerings. And again, this is available in 3 and 6. And these are, like Zyn, these are 15 per can, not 20 like Sesh was. And again, this is just some more data around the category. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on it. I think everybody knows what this category is doing. They do have some really nice displays. As we mentioned it before, very, very high margin items, definitely on trend. It's the category is going through the roof every day. And actually, there are folks that view this as a lifestyle, healthy lifestyle brand and product. So you can see here are the displays they have available. They have everything from a small little 4 count to a larger display here. And these are all available to you through Knick-Knack as well. If you are interested with them, you would work through your local person to book these displays. But they do have some pretty attractive displays here. These are cardboard. And then you can see a page here on pricing. This is our special WAM price. So they dropped this by $1.20 per can from what they originally came with. So there is a hot deal there. And again, I'll cover that here in a second with a couple other pages on the exclusivity and the opening intro that Debbie put together for us. And then here is the ordering process, 7 to 10 business days. It is direct only. The minimum is 1 layer. So a layer of cases is the minimum. And again, they do not recognize through drip drop or any specialty redees, but it is a small minimum to get started. And this is how you get up and running once you have your conversations with Knick-Knack. So let me go to the WAM exclusive deal we got here. So this just one page, kind of just highlights everything I did, shows the flavors. Here's the WAM exclusive. So we would be the only supplier of these items for the first 120 days. So she gave us about a quarter, 3.5, 4 months of exclusivity that you can be first to the market with this program, and the only ones the only place to buy it in the C-store channel would be through a WAM distributor. And then, so in addition to lowering the, lowering that cost, that $1.20 lower that I showed you, as an OI to start, they're going to offer you another 25 cents a can or $1.25 for a roll. And you can use that as you see fit. I know they say as WAM sees fit, but this would be your OI. that you can use for spiffs. You can use it for retailer incentives. You can use it for hot pricing. However you choose to use it. They are making this broad where we have the exclusivity for 120 days and $1.25 off per roll off of already a hot price, which is also a WHAM exclusive. They did lower the price for us. They do have a broker. It's CP Retailer. If you're or CP Retail, I'm sorry, is the sales broker. So if you're familiar with them, that's who's representing their brands out there, and I believe that's who Debbie is an official consultant of. Is this CP Retail company? She did say hello to everybody on the call. For those of you that knew Debbie before Century was purchased a couple years ago. So, any blaring questions on Knickknack? All right. And then the third, there is one more, just shows a little bit better the displays that were on that one slide there. So that's also included in your materials. And the last one, the last brand is NYKD. Puff is actually the parent company, but the brand name is NYKD. This, as I mentioned, everyone has their own niche. This one's going to be more of a value brand. As you'll see when we get to the pricing, it is pack 20. But that's the niche it fits. Also, they have the higher milligrams. And I think as we see this category mature, I think you're going to see folks trading up to the higher and higher milligrams. Somebody may start at 3 or 4, go to 6 or 8, and then eventually be looking for a higher milligram. So they have a 3, 6, and 12 milligrams across these flavors. Again, unique flavors, a lot more towards the fruit with mint in them as well. If you were going through the deck and wanted to see the podcasts, so they are really, really heavy in promoting on podcasts. And for those of you that are not familiar, these are some very, very popular podcasts. They actually put some clips of them covering it. I'm not going to pull it up on this call, but you can see for those wrestling fans, they're talking to The Undertaker. Undertaker's talking about it. Joey Diaz, who's a very popular comic and has a very popular podcast. There's a couple clips if you wanted to review those. And even though they're a value brand, they do have a premium natural ingredient, so unbleached coconut flavors. Fibers. From what I was told, which I didn't know, some of these pouches use wood chips or something similar to wood chips. They do not do that. They use unbleached coconut fibers. And as you can see, again, the flavors are unique and differentiated. They have displays as well. They probably have one of the nicest displays I've seen. So they sent us one. We set it up in our office. This is the NYKD display. As you can see, it's not super large, right? You can see as a reference to the chairs behind there. But it is a light up display. Looks really, really nice. We set it up in the office, quickly filled it with the samples we got. So to give you an idea of the light up acrylic display, and this is an acrylic display, so it will stay up for a while. So if you can get these placed, you will have a home for the brand and a very nice POS system. So here's where you can see the cost is $1.80 per can. That's what makes this a little bit of a better value. As I had mentioned, they are 20 counts, not 15 counts. And so they said the minimum order. So after we talked to the committee, we said, hey, a pallet's too much. They have updated this. It is a half a pallet is the order minimum. But they said even they'll go even lower than that. They will work with the distributors individually for your kickoff orders until you get that business built up big enough. The dating, one of the questions that the committee had, is if we have to take a pallet or a half a pallet, what kind of dating does it have? It is a 1-year Best Buy date from production. So there is, it's not going to be an immediate concern about the dating on your initial order. And again, like everything else, it is guaranteed. They They have talked to 3 distributors already, that they said that they have gotten Wham distributors that they have gotten some interest from. So they have may have reached out to you previously, but this is the NYKD offering. And again, that's by Puff Brands, but it's NYKD is the brand of the pouch. And then last but definitely not least, and I'll open by saying 7 days. It looks like it could be our next full Wham partner if we get some growth like we have with every other Launchpad manufacturer. They're right on the edge of being big enough to be considered for full Wham. We're doing right around $2 million in shipments with them right now, and they are already in all but 3 distributors across Wham. So they're in 23 of the distributors already, and they have a really good footprint. And once we see a little bit of growth through the Launchpad program, I do anticipate this may be a candidate for full Wham when we start moving forward. And so what 7 days is, it's a unique snacking item. Oh, by the way, if you're a tobacco buyer, you can go ahead and drop off because we're done with the tobacco categories. The rest are snacking and beverage. But so as you can see, this is a snacking brand. Again, a unique brand that they do croissants, stuffed croissants. And they have single serve, they have multi-serve bags. Again, they probably sent you a ton of samples. I know they sent a ton to the Wham warehouse. So hopefully you were able to try that product. And as you can see, they are outperforming the category for growth. So they're almost 2x what the packaged bakery items are growing. So this is a new brand that's definitely got a foothold and is seeing the growth that you hope to see when you're introducing a new brand like this. And as you can see, dollars per distribution, dollars per distribution ranks fairly high from some of the competitive type items that you can see going down here left to right. You can see that where these are in place, they are moving and moving very, very well. And again, more information on how it's doing versus the category. They're still under indexed on their percentage of distribution, but where they are in distribution, they are moving above the average. They have 2 new ones coming out down the pike around June. So one is peach filling, and then this one my kids were excited about, hazelnut filling, basically Nutella. And so those are the new. They are calling this a seasonal item right now, but they do anticipate it may be it most likely is going to be a full-time item for them. But 2 new flavors coming out in addition to the ones most of you guys are already covering or carrying. They do have, so the important thing, there is no minimums because they're available in dot, which makes it very, very easy. So they are, I'm assuming that's where most of you are buying from currently. But 7 days is available in dot, so minimums aren't an issue. And they do have broker support. It's regional, so you can see where your regions are on here and who your broker representative would be. Some of these we're very, very familiar with that work across other Wham brands, so you should get some nice coverage from your brokers that represent 7 days in your geography. And then just another fun fact is this company is actually owned by Mondelez, as is Perfect Bar. So the success of Perfect Bar brought in 7 days. And then we're also talking about a couple of more of these. I forget what they call them, like branch brands or something like that. They're not under the full Mondelez portfolio, but they're kind of one-offs. The next one that we're working with is Tate's Bakery, the Tate's Cookies, which I think most of you would be familiar with. So the success that we've had with Perfect Bar has led to 7 days, and most likely is going to lead to Tate's Cookies for the next wave. So nice relationship going here with the Mondelez kind of side brands. And it's the same person. Our Wham contact is the same person as it is for 7 days, who is a big proponent of Wham. Palmer, if you've met him, real nice guy. Does a really good job. Most of you guys, like I said, are participating with 7 days. All but three distributors are currently participating. So, with that, were there any questions on what I brought up? Oh, it looks like it's transcribing everything I say over here. Cool. um, okay, with that, Dan, you went first last
Go
time?
ahead, Ross.
Yeah.
Yep, go ahead.
Hey, all right. Second both times this time. I'm usually last, so it's great. Thanks for joining on the Friday. I've got a couple manufacturers to cover with you all, and I'll pull them up here. The first one is Body Armor Flash IV. So similar to 7 days, where that's kind of like a subsidiary or like side business unit of Mondelez. This is, as most of you may know, is kind of like a side subsidiary sister company of Coca-Cola, but it's ran as a separate business unit. I think some of the Body Armor, other like their beverages or maybe DSD. I don't think they're warehouse brands, but this is Body Armor, the hydration sticks that are it's on trend, kind of led by Liquid IV, but these are available in Dot. I have a deck here to go through. So Body Armor, this kind of talks about their different lines, mostly beverage, going all the way back to just plain water, different areas of hydration. This fits in what they call the DIY hydration category. And, it talks about the growth, which for most of you probably is no surprise. On the hydration powders, I guess they call hydration enhancers. They are, projecting this category to be over $1 billion. Which is probably not a surprise. Household penetration's up, trip frequency's up, dollars per trip is up in this category. So it's really driving some growth. Here's some specifics on the flavors or on Body Armor. There's over 2,000 milligrams of electrolytes, zero sugar, natural flavors and sweeteners. They don't have any artificial flavors, dyes, or sweeteners. They have the vitamins and minerals that a lot of people are looking for that immunity support. And obviously in this kind of like form factor packaging type, it's easy on the go and convenient, especially for convenience. When you pick up a bottle of water and a stick, you can kind of combine it, and it's easy on the go solution. Here's how Body Armor stacks up to the competitors. You can see how it stacks up to the leader in the category, Liquid IV. Lower calories, low sugar, zero sugar on Body Armor, 1 gram of carbohydrates. I mentioned the vitamins and minerals that it has. And, it wouldn't be a Coca-Cola brand if they didn't compare themselves directly to a Pepsi brand. So this is how it stacks up against the Gatorade version. And the Body Armor, it's kind of, all checks all the boxes in green. More electrolytes, low calories, less sugar, kind of like it is across the board on the others. Here's the pricing. So we got a $2 retail per stick. An 8-stick box retails for $16. The nice thing about these little boxes that they're really kind of like caddies with a perforated top. You can just kind of rip the top off, stick it on the counter, stick it on the shelf for easy display. You can see what the carton cost and the case price there is. These are available in Dot in 3 different flavors: lemon lime, strawberry kiwi, and tropical punch. Here's the deck has the UPCs and the Dot numbers on there for you. Also, I'll step to this next slide real quick, or the other deck here. They do have a caffeinated version. They did say, if you're gonna just kind of get into this, they recommend the non-caffeinated because that's more a larger audience, and I think they've seen better sales in those and better growth in those. But there are some sticks that are kind of being introduced in this category that are caffeinated. So they have a caffeinated version in 2 flavors that are also available through Dot that would count towards the program. But again, if you're kind of just getting in, they recommend sticking with like just the plain hydration one, but really up to you. The caffeinated versions are out there if you feel like it would service your customers. They do have merchandising tools available. This is, you want to get this in the right spot for trial and repeat sales. They have a suction cup display that goes on their coolers. You can put it by the water, which is nice. They have shelf extenders. They also have clip strips. You can work with the direct contact at Body Armor to order these merchandising vehicles if that would help your sales, help your merchandising. So it's available. And the next couple slides here are just like the specs, which I'll let you guys dig into, but they are available in DOT, and you can buy the case as needed there. Any questions on Body Armor? Cool. The next one I'll step into is another beverage, and it's Riot Energy. Their big calling card is zero artificial anything. It's kind of neat in how they separate themselves from the others out there. This category, again, sort of like the hydration sticks, is growing rapidly. So no surprise to you all. Most of it's through DSD, so it's kind of exciting to have a energy drink brand that is dedicated to warehouse delivery. Some talking points here about how it's growing. It's set to double by 2023 or 2033. Let me get forward. There we go. So there's a lot of brands in this category. We see them all in the store every day. Most of them have artificial sweeteners, lots of sugar, no real innovation other than like line extensions and new flavors of what's already out there. So this is kind of exciting because it's different. You can see here the legacy brands and the better for you brands. That trend is growing in convenience as well, where there are consumers looking for like a better option of the legacy type brands that are out there. They kind of position themselves, as you can tell by the marketing and the color of the can, like a Monster, same colors. But they are in that sort of better for you or someone looking for a healthier alternative. They have 5 flavors: strawberry lemonade, citrus lime, mango, berry, cherry watermelon. I've had to try most of these, I think. There's a couple maybe I missed here that but I feel like they taste great. There is some, flavor profile differences in this versus like a Red Bull or a Monster Energy, which I'll touch on here in a moment. They kind of talk about that and lean into that. You can see there's 160 milligrams per caffeine per can. They have all the good stuff you can see on the right here with real ingredients. They're, the stuff that you can actually read, not a bunch of like chemical names that it's hard to even pronounce, but they have like salt, lime juice, natural flavors, green tea extract, lemon juice, white grape juice, all the good stuff. No, artificial sweeteners, no flavors. They kind of, zero across the board there. Some insights that were thought were interesting, that when they did this kind of surveying of traditional energy drink purchasers or consumers, 50% felt like they would open to switch to something that had zero artificial anything. So half the consumers that are currently buying Red Bull or Monster would switch to something that has zero artificial stuff. 73% say they would trade off a regular legacy brand to something that has low calories, anywhere from 10 to 30 calories per serving, which these do. And then kind of what I was talking about a moment ago, 3 out of 4 of those consumers of the traditional brands don't like the artificial sweet syrupy flavors of that you kind of get in those others. If you had a chance to try this one, it does have like a lighter, less sweet flavor. I think it's, it has that green tea base with natural flavor. So it doesn't have the overly sweet kind of syrupy flavor, which I actually really enjoyed. And the ones that people they surveyed felt the same way. Just like most of these decks have, it kind of compares themselves versus the leading brands. You can see zero across the board when you look at the preservatives, artificial sweeteners. Again, that's really the calling card. You can see how it compares to the others. One thing they wanted me to make sure to emphasize on here, because on the bottom of the slide, you can see that they are partnered with Sierra Nevada, and they wanted me to make sure that the whole distributor group knew that that is not like a path to distribution. They are using Sierra Nevada as like a quality insurance when it comes to production, so they can produce at scale with the quality they expect. But they have no desire to be DSD, and even in like certain regions, they want to do across the board. They feel like it's healthier for their business model to work through convenience distributors, and that's how they plan to um, be introduced to convenience. They don't, they know that the other legacy brands are primarily DSD. They feel like their best path of growth and the healthiest for their brand is to partner with you all through warehouse brands. So that's great. The Sierra Nevada is kind of like how they produce at scale and the quality that their customers expect. So I wanted to make sure I called that out. Again, here it talks about natural energy and natural flavors. It kind of separates from the others out there. They have a lot of spend in the last 90 days in media, so there's going to be more and more consumer awareness about it. I will say that their convenience in general hasn't really been introduced to Riot yet. They feel like the WHAM program is kind of their lean into convenience. It's not exclusive to WHAM. We tried to talk them into that, but they've already committed to like a Launchpad type program through Core-Mark. So there are going to be some distribution through the Core-Mark warehouses. However, they do view WHAM as their entryway into independent convenience. And they're putting a lot of money behind media in different forms. They're going to have a lot of activation and visibility in retail. They're going to have a lot of these marketing tools available to their distributors. I think the next slide here shows it better. Door clings, cooler clings, the wobblers, they have ice barrels, they have these corrugate case stacks, they have pole huggers. They're even doing like slotting, like free cases for slotting. A lot of the stuff they will work with you directly, whatever you need, whatever your customers need, they will work with you directly. They have a lot of they're going to fund this as outside of WHAM locally too. So, they're going to do the 8% distributor rate to you all, 2% rebate to the retailers, but they're also going to do all these promotions and activities outside of WHAM. So WHAM's going to have the launch promotion, and they'll do another probably promotion in 6 months from now. But locally, they want to make sure that they're aggressive because they know that the legacy traditional brands are aggressive with price and deals at retail every day. They want to work with you directly to make sure that they stack up against those legacy brands. So they'll do a BOGO, 2 for $3, 2 for $4.50 as they kind of move on and get more distribution out there. I mentioned the free case for slotting. They also have like branding, marketing, or videos that are kind of designed for retailers, which is kind of interesting. Like even like the larger Mars Hostess of the world typically don't have something like that, especially a small manufacturers kind of joining through Launchpad. So if there's like a chain that brings us on and they want to train their managers on the benefits of Riot and why they should carry it, they have like training modules for them that you can get through them, which is pretty interesting. So you can see that they have the whole package. They've really thought this through and are really looking forward to working with the WHAM distributors to move it forward. Here's the some of the specs and the pricing. Suggested retail $2.99, but again, they're going to put a lot of activation in pricing and promotions to make sure it's price aligned with the competitors. And that is Riot Energy. So they're not in dots, but their minimum is just one mixed pallet. So pretty simple to get into. There's 5 flavors. You can mix a pallet as your minimum. But they do have a guarantee policy, just like we do with the other Launchpad manufacturers. And that is Riot Energy. Any questions on that one? Cool. Thank you so much. And then Dan, I'll let you take over.
All right. And I feel good about giving some time back to everybody. I don't think we're going to go another 45 minutes. So the first one up is Twigs. It is North America's most unboring pretzel. And when I say that if there's a manufacturer excited about this opportunity, the folks at Twigs are extremely excited about this opportunity to work with all of you. This is a family-run company, and they are based in Canada. And so the best description of Twigs is kind of a dots on steroids. So founded in 2019, again, family-owned company. They are solely based in Canada for now, but they are making their American debut starting, and they're starting with us. But I feel confident that you're going to see this product everywhere in the next year or 2 years. You can see their flavors that they have here: zesty pickle, the urban garlic, cheddar ranch, the fire roasted jalapeno. And then they just launched 2 new ones, the cinnamon churro and the sour cream and onion. Hopefully you've had a chance to try them, but the packaging's bold, the flavors are bold. As far as the ingredients, no MSG, the corn syrup, all of the kind of the healthy stuff that's going on right now in the market. So this is their claim to fame. They are not a boring pretzel. They right now dominate Canada. They are the pretzel of Canada. So you can see the partners that they work with currently, whether it's Pilot, Metro, Circle K, to Costco. They are the pretzel of Air Canada. And so they're very excited to launch in America. And I was teasing Dave on the last call, his friend Bethany Frankel, Real Housewife. She apparently loves them. They said one thing important. I think we're all kind of tariff experts now, just what's going on in the news. But they said, do not worry about tariffs. They will have a operational plant in Pennsylvania starting in April. This product is not in DOT, but their minimums are relatively low. 50 cases, mixed pallet. These are 4-ounce pouches, stand-up pouches, and they can be pegged as well. And your cost is $1.98. And they did send, and I'm sure the samples that you received, and if you see this, the images in the brochure, everything's Canadian based. But this is what their U.S. product and the U.S. packaging will look like. And so all of the packaging will be specific to America. And Dave, I think you met with these guys maybe a year and a half ago or so, 2 years ago at Sweets and Snacks. They weren't quite ready to launch in America, but they are fully ready to go. And so we're excited to have them partner with us, and we're kind of on the foreground with this brand. Any questions on Twigs? Next one up is Unique Snack. Now, Unique Snacks is, again, a family company. They've been around for over 100 years. They're based in Pennsylvania. And the reason they're called Unique Snacks is they have a very unique way that they make the pretzels. And it has to do with the drying process and how they let the actual dough rise and set. And so you get these individual cracks. And so the texture of these pretzels and the taste of them is very unique. The brand under this are called Splits, and these are what they're known for. They have multiple different flavors, to original, to some that are very, very, strong, almost like a Guinness beer type taste. They also have pretzel shells. These are hollow with nothing inside. They're just hollow pretzel sticks. They have sourdough rings that's actually made with craft beer. And this item here is a non-pretzel. Think of this as a type of Funyun item. These, when they came into our office, they were extremely popular because not only do they taste good, and not only do they have good flavors associated with it, they are gluten-free. And we mentioned this on the previous call. The gluten-free piece continues to be bigger and bigger and bigger, where consumers that have gluten issues and they need to buy gluten-free product, or they're looking at it as a healthy option. These items that you're looking at here, not the pretzels, but these puffsels are 100% gluten-free. And then there's just some data. They are growing and they're expanding. This product is available in DOT. And so any direct shipments should not be an issue. You can see their retail partners here, and it's the vast majority of it. The vast majority of it is food, whether it's Meijer, Super Value, Hy-Vee, Kroger, or it's in the drug class of trade, whether it's CVS, Walgreens, etc. So they really want to expand into convenience, and so they're looking forward to the opportunity with Launchpad. And we do have one distributor, current partner with SAS that is currently partnering with Unique. Any questions on Unique pretzels? And the last one I have is So Good. So Good freeze-dried candy. I think we all know how freeze-dried candy has kind of blown up over the last 4 or 5 years. So Good is specifically a freeze-dried candy company and manufacturer. They do roughly, they're in 13,000 stores, roughly 8 million units that they sell through. They have 2 plants in Texas, both in Irving and Dallas. Shipping wise, they are not in DOT. They are working to get in DOT, but they do not have any minimum orders. So if you want to order 5 cases or 10 cases, they will 100% work with you on the ordering. They have the expertise in it. They've been doing this a long time. So like I said, they have a state-of-the-art facility, and they're kind of experts in the freeze-dried candy process. They also just have some, overall data on chocolate compared to sugar and how sugar is growing. Obviously, the freeze-dried portion of the sugar segment is helping grow those sales, where you can see So Good in their growth that they've had on the right. And then it's also when you have Jolly Ranchers, when you have Skittles get into the freeze-dried game, when major manufacturers are getting behind it, that they feel that there's still a lot of growth to this category. So Good, it's about 51% of the freeze-dried share right now. These are the rankings, and so you can see this is the rankings of the So Good items. They have a lot of items, whether it's the mini bites, sweet, sour, big pieces, small pieces. They have splits. They just have a lot of different items that are available. They also have items in the freeze-dried ice cream SKUs. So not just candy, they also have freeze-dried ice cream that's available. They have shippers and merchandising vehicles that are available if you would like. And then they also have a couple different gummy options as well, with the spicy rings and the spicy worms. Now, one big piece that came up from the committee call, if you look at the price list, they did confirm that all of their items are available in a 12-count case, and that was very important to the committee. So if you see, they also have 24-count case options, but they wanted everyone to know every item that they have available is available in a 12-count case, no minimums, and they are also very aggressive, as is the Twix folks and a lot of these other the manufacturers that Dave and Ross discussed. They are very aggressive about trade shows, local spiffs, working with teams. So they're excited to be able to work with you if you're interested. But with that, I'll give it back to Dave.
Yeah, thanks, Dan. Good stuff. Yeah, as I opened the call with, we really feel, there's 9 manufacturers here, so it's a deep wave with a number of manufacturers, but we also think the quality is outstanding. I think everything that we got in tested very, very well in the warehouse, all are on trend. But before we get off, one last plug I'll kind of give you, because one of the big conversations in our office over the last couple of months has been hey, what's happening with the C-store channel and in volume? And I don't think anybody expects a bounce back on foot traffic or velocities in store. So 2025, when we look at purchases with our classic manufacturers, may be a tough year. But what we're discussing in the office is just because we have a harder time with volume doesn't mean we can't get more rebates. And this is a really great way to get incremental rebates by starting participating with a manufacturer that you're not now, because those are all incremental to your rebates at the end of the year. So we're working hard to make sure that we're keeping your rebates as large as possible. One of those keys to that is participating with some manufacturers that are new and incremental to you. And I think we've got a lot of good options here. So your account manager will be following up with you to collect your interest. And again, I just want to end with another thank you for joining on a Friday afternoon. I hope everybody has a great weekend, and be safe out there.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.